How's it going, everyone? Conixis here, and welcome back to Katawa Shoujo. And as you remember last time, we were stuck with this dilemma of my girl Lilly versus my girl Shizune. But I don't know what we should pick here, because as you know, I kind of got brought into the middle of this for no reason. And I was just chilling. I was just straight watching. And then Shizune gonna come and attack me like she did before, and I don't know, man. But basically, we gotta say either, hey, come on, cut me in a little some slack, or don't drag me into this. I've done my part. Now, let's see here. If we're going with what I initially thought, when she started saying that shit, I was gonna say, yo, don't bring me in this. I'm just a bystander. But at the same time, I would want to defend Lilly as well, because my girl Lilly trying her best. So I don't know why she hating on her so much, but let's see here. I think we're gonna stand up and just be like, listen, cut Lilly and me some slack. I'm new, she blind, so just chill. Hey, I'm the new. Yeah, see, hey, I'm the new guy. Remember, it's not like I could have done much even if I wanted. That's right. You shouldn't expect the transfer student to jump right in on his first week. Lily taking my side feels oddly comforting, so I decide to back her up too. Yeah, you're being unreasonable with both of us. Oh. Let's see. Excuses, Miss Class Rep. Miss Class Rep had plenty of time to deal with her report. And we repeatedly offered you a position to help with the student council work, but you refused to commit yourself to making the festival a success. Yeah, but as I said back then, I'm not sure if. I don't have the time for this right now. No matter what I do, it will mean being drawn into confrontation with Shizune, and that is what she wants. Whatever, forget it. I turned my back at them. Lily, class is going to be starting soon, so we can talk more later. I'll tell Hanako you were looking for her. I can feel Shizune freezing. Maybe this is the first time she's ever been ignored in such a blunt manner. I mean, you're being a bit of a bitch, not gonna lie. Like, if you and Lily just kept your little squabble to yourself, I would have just sat back and said nothing. But you gotta bring me into this. I'm the new guy. I'm still trying to get used to shit. And it's not fair that you're trying to bring me into this shit. Like, nah, bruh. And you, like, dogging on my girl Lily. Like, what Lily ever do to you? I don't know what. She could have did something to her. I don't fucking know. They have some kind of rivalry for some reason. Like I said, I'm not sure if it's because, they got the opposite affinities. Like, she blind, she deaf, so, they just can't mix. Or if someone actually did something to someone in the past. I don't know. But I guess maybe we'll find out. Maybe we won't. Anyways, yeah. Thank you, Asal. I'll leave now. And my voice is gonna be a bit hard to hit them light tones because I just woke up. So she gives me the sweetest smile I've ever seen all week and turns on her heels to make her exit. As soon as Lily walks out the door, I suddenly start feeling reluctant about... Yeah, I just said, fuck you, and now I have class with her. I'm feeling reluctant about turning to face Shizune. I can feel her eyes burning into my back and can't bring myself to look at her. She must be furious. I keep expecting Misha to say something to alleviate the tension, but it really is wanting too much. In the end, I go back to my seat and listen to the sound of Shizune's footsteps as she marches out of the room. She doesn't return until a few minutes before class. Damn. It's funny. She was mad at me for not taking initiative, and then I did, and now she's just like, what the fuck? Hanako doesn't come to morning class at all, leaving her seat looking empty and lonely in the back of the classroom. I have to tell her that Lily was looking for her if I see her later. After the events of this morning, class is pretty boring in comparison. I turn the pages of my textbook lazily. I have a bit of catching up to do, despite trying to keep up with my studies at the hospital, but I'm not feeling that enthusiastic about it. The clock at the front of the room sounds unbearably loud. The teacher hasn't said anything in over 7 minutes, instead opting to cover the board and rows of equations and then directly from the book. Taken back, I know that. The rhythmic clashing of chalk on the blackboard seems to synchronize perfectly with the ticking of the clock. I start to copy down the equations just to pass the time, even though they're right there in the textbook. When the bell rings, I'm not in a hurry because I have nothing to do. Yeah! So I stay for a while, reviewing what we covered in class today. I prefer to leave last anyway, so I don't have to deal with crowding in the hallways. I noticed Shizune and Misha also stayed behind, talking to someone from another class. Shizune's signing so fast that her hands make noises like swords cutting through the air. She's fucking moving with her fingers. Maybe the pent-up anger is... yeah? I don't doubt that she's still a little salty from earlier. Maybe there is pent-up anger in there. Misha's trying to desperately keep up, but it's clear she can barely manage to even understand her. I put my head down. Whatever they're discussing, it looks like serious business. Shizune signs to the point where her wrists crackle, and Misha struggles to spit out in word form. Oh. Sometimes she trips over herself like she's dealing with tongue twisters, and then, on top of that, she has to sign back anything the other girl says. Seems like a rough job, yeah? Misha looks tired, like she's about to faint. Luckily for her, their business is soon finished, and the girl sits down in their seat again.
I'm so tired!
She's hanging her head limply on her desk, looking exhausted. I'll use the opportunity to reconcile with Shizune a bit, without getting roped into the student council thing again, though I suspect that door is now closed for me. Festival preparations must be tough for you. Indeed, the people in the school seem to be taking the festival very seriously. Whenever I see people idling around before and after classes, they're always talking about their plans for it. It's kind of neat to see everyone being so enthusiastic about it. I'm probably the only one who doesn't have something to do. She scoffed. Yeah, I'm about to say, like, she probably ain't even gonna talk to me now. She just scoffs at me first, as if trying to decide whether to ignore or sneer at me, but in the end starts signing without doing either. Misha perks up, looking at her hands with slightly unfocused eyes. She signs with harshly heavy, dramatic strokes. Oh my god. Misha translates her signing into speech for me. She does it so well, it's almost like Shizune is actually speaking, transmitting her thoughts directly through Misha. She must have practiced it vigorously.
Well, of course, we're in the student council, you know, so we're pretty busy. It's an important duty of ours to ensure the success of the festival with all our strength. We would shame ourselves in front of the past student council generations if the festival were to fail. That's why there must be no flaws, I think that was encumbrances. Nothing that might make the festival short of perfect. Shizune's passionate speech and Misha's enacting are really oddly fitting of them. Oh, hello. Wait, what? Oh, hi. I want to say hello, who, what? I look over my shoulder to see Hanako peering timidly into the classroom, most of her body hidden behind the door. Hey, playing delinquent again?
Hanako blushes hard at Misha's straightforward jab, even if it was only in jest. Uh-oh. Shizune stares at her probingly, causing Hanako to look down and start backing away, to the point only her fingers can be seen wrapped nervously around the edge of the door. Maybe she's showing her dislike of Hanako by association of her dislike of Lilly. Yeah, it appears so, and Hanako probably knows it as well. What is it, Hanako?
Has Lilly been here? Sorry, haven't seen Sato, oh my bad. She came by in the morning though.
Oh my voice, you can already hear the rasps. Oh god. Hanako keeps looking uneasily at Shizune, who stares back at her with her usual studying gaze. What's she trying to do? Of course, Shizune isn't going to look away, and she is intimidating enough as it is. So I can only imagine how terrified Hanako would be. It is a little uncomfortable watching Hanako's reaction to Shizune's normal behavior. This is what happens when two people of different extremes meet, it seems.
Do you know where she is? If she has any sense in her head, she's in her classroom working on the festival project. But who knows where that woman is loitering at?
You need to find her? She was looking for you this morning, or in the morning, but I guess you have missed each other. She waits a little without answering the simple question, looking awfully like she's not sure if it's proper to answer such a question.
Yeah.
I can come with you, if it's okay. Hanako nods fractionally, still on guard, her shoulders stiff like wood. I get the feeling that she might be more comfortable by herself after all, but it's too late to back off now. She has this really troubled expression she seems to wear almost constantly, one that makes me constantly be on guard myself. I wonder why. I kind of understand why she always seems to be so wary, or maybe like why there would be a person like her. But I still have no idea how I should act around such a person. It's dinner time soon. Were you planning to eat with Lily? She nods slightly. So she must have been trying to get in the cafeteria. Sorry about that, guys. Well, there's something of a dinner crowd, just like the cafeteria is crowded during lunch. It's not as bad because dinner time is longer than lunch hour, but I can understand why Hanako would be discouraged from going in. I pick up my bag and we take our leave. Hanako skips a little to meet my initial pace, so I slow down to match her speed. It doesn't take long for us to be walking at a comfortable pace down the hallway. It almost feels like we're going for a stroll together, something that I can't say I've really done before with a girl. Hanako doesn't seem to be thinking the same thing, though. Even though we are walking at the same pace, she never comes with arm's reach of me. I guess it's still a little uncomfortable around me. Given how shy she is, there doesn't seem to be much helping it, at least for now. By the time we arrive at the cafeteria, there's not much of a crowd there, but Lily is nowhere to be seen. Hanako's head sinks even lower than usual. Have you looked somewhere else already?
Just at the library. I was reading.
So she does spend her class, the classes she skips at the library. Ah, so not exactly a thorough search then. Well, if I had to guess, she'd be in her own class, like Shizune said, right?
Right.
With the slightest of nods, Hanako agrees with my reasoning. God, she's being so awkward. It's like I need to double-layered silk gloves with padding to even begin interacting with her. Some small talk might help her become a bit more used to me. It isn't hard to tell that the silence between us is hovering on the edge of both our minds. So, you and Lily usually hang out together after class, right?
Yes.
I'm not quite sure what I expected from her answer, nor why I even asked the question. That much was rather obvious after all. Sorry about that, guys. I accidentally clicked too when I got back. But, let's see here. She doesn't seem like the type to cultivate a social circle either, so I suspect that Lily may be her only friend. Must be a pain being in different classes, I'm guessing. She gives a sharp, almost reflective nod. Compared to Lily's careful thought about her actions and speech, Hanako hastens to make her answers prompt as short as possible.
Lily comes by the classroom even even when she's busy.
She gave a smile. It's a smile. It's good. I can't go light because I just woke up, so my voice is as deep as it can possibly get right now. So
I can do like this and just start whispering like deep in your ear or something. But my voice needs to wake up itself, so my reading's gonna be weird. She gives a small smile as she says it, evidently appreciating the fact that Lily goes out of her way to help her. It's pretty cute, really. There isn't any need to say more. Both of us content that the discussion's reached an end. As we ascend the stairs back to the lobby, we are met by a group of students heading downstairs like a school of fish moving from one feeding area to another. Oh, hi. They seem to be keeping mostly to themselves, but before I can notice her doing so, Hanako's moved around behind me. Hey, are you alright?
Just keep going.
The students pass us without much as a second glance, and Hanako takes up a position to my side again. We enter the building, her momentary reprieve from her anxiety all but snatched away. Even as we climb toward the third floor, she doesn't seem to relax. It isn't as if I've never known a shy person before, or even shy girls, but Hanako seems to be pretty far beyond what I call normal in her fear of other people. If it weren't for Lilly acting as a mediator, I doubt Hanako would even have been able to walk beside me like this. She seems to completely shut down in the presence of others. The rest of the walk up to Lily's classroom continues in strained silence while I rue her inability to socialize at all. After we make our way up the stairs, I notice some... I was about to say, yeah, what is that noise? After we make our way up the stairs, the noise coming from Lily's classroom is audible from halfway down the hallway. I wasn't expecting such a din at all. Well, I guess we found her. This wasn't hard. Did Hanako come here first, then come to me for backup, I wonder? It's a possibility. Well, if that's true, then at least she's starting to trust me a little. That can only be a good thing. Eventually, the two of us reached the door to Class 3-2, with Hanako less than subtly positioning herself behind me. I opened the door. Inside was a hive of activity, seemingly every student in the class talking at once as they work hurriedly over their separate tasks. Going by the paint cans, decorations, banners being made, it must be for this upcoming school festival. I guess my first priority should be finding Lilly. Man. Finding her among the din is surprisingly easy, not the least because of her looks. With a couple of students gathered around her as she stands at the front of the class, she seems to be in charge of preparations, or at least busy organizing. Carefully negotiating a path through the various students hunched over the floor for lack of desk space, I raise a hand entirely out of habit as we finally reach Lilly. Hi, Lilly. My voice. She perks her head up as she breaks off talking to a noticeably smaller girl who must be her classmate, trying to listen as best as she can.
Sorry, who?
Sorry, Hisao. I have Hanako too.
Hi.
She's pretty skittish considering the number of people around. It isn't too hard to work out why. Lily takes a moment to pause to assess the situation before turning to the other students once again.
For the moment, just ask Moria for his advice. Kenji's busy with painting one of the banners already.
A quick nod and she bounces off, fingers carefully sliding along the wall, face for orientation. Wait, Kenji? That Kenji? I quickly turn about, leaning to the side to see past Hanako. Sure enough, in the corner of the room, Kenji's hunched over a sheet of cloth as he painted. His eyes remain only inches from the brush, reminding me of how close he has to be to make out my face when I met him.
Sorry about that. Our class doesn't have many students with even partial eyesight, so they are in high demand.
That's right. Class 3-2 is... Oh yeah, I was about to say, I don't know why Hanako was so scared, because it's not like the people could maybe see her. I remember Lily saying that her class was for blind students, so I was like, I know there's a lot of people, but they technically can't see. I believe. Anyways.
That's right.
No, that's me. That's right. Class 3-2 is especially for students with poor vision. Preparing for the festival must be pretty arduous for them. My bad again. This is trying to get my voice up to slum because it is cracking like hell. Anyways, need a hand? I could give you help if you need some. Maybe Hanako could too. A chance to set her mind on something would do her good, but I doubt she has the courage to ask outright. She quickly nods in affirmation afterwards, so I'm confident I made the right move. Lily gives a noticeable sigh of relief.
Ah, that's good. This might actually get finished before everyone goes off for dinner now. Would you be able to help the person painting in the main banner? It's a big task for him to do, but nobody else can help.
Kenji? Sure. She seems surprised that I know him. I can't really blame her.
I take it you've met?
Our rooms in the dorm are right next to each other. Hard to miss each other, really.
Well, it's good to see you're getting friends so fast.
Yeah, friend. I wonder if that's the right word to use for him. Yeah. Hanako's silence during the proceedings remind me of the reason I put her up to helping in the first place. We'll go help him then. He knows what needs doing, right?
That's right. Just ask if you have any problems.
Coursing in assessment, Hanako and I begin another trek across the classroom. Kenji sits crouched on the floor, his gaze fixed on the white calico in front of him. Oh my god, he's just down there.
Hey, Kenji.
No answer. He continues dragging his paint-soaked brush along the large, half-painted Kenji that... Wait, what? Wait, yeah, what? He continues dragging his paint-soaked brush along the large, half-painted Kenji that is sketched on the sheet in pencil. Oh, I'm about to say, what? But no, he has a drawing of himself. He goes, Kenji.
Huh? What? Who is it?
If this is the way he treats class members, it's no small wonder why he's working on this alone. I'm pretty sure I saw it's me, Hisao, but yeah, it does that automatic thing.
Right.
Or no, I changed his voice.
Right. I know that, man. What are you doing here, though?
His dismissive attitude annoys me. He must be the type to really get focused on his work, hating to be disrupted by anyone until he's done, I suppose. While we talk, the sounds of Hanako's footsteps as she walks out from behind me reminds me that she's here. I was just going to help with the banner, Hanako and I, that is.
Hello?
Oh, hey, I guess that's okay.
As soon as Hanako enters the equation, his demeanor takes a complete about-face. His sudden faux hospitality is slightly unsettling. Alright, women. On second thoughts, this may not have been a great idea after all. Hanako and I grudgingly set ourselves down on the opposite side of the cloth banner to Kenji. Nothing the several small paintings, my bad, on the ground around it. Class 3-2, noodle stall? You guys are selling noodles at the festival on Sunday?
Yeah, some stalls outside or something.
Or something. His non-committal nature sparks a fair amount of suspicion on my behalf. The task at hand comes first, though. So, how do you want to split this? We do borders while you do the text, or do you want to switch and do the borders?
Text is mine, you do borders.
He has surprisingly strong feelings on the topic. As I reach over to grab a brush, I notice Hanako is already debating between colors to use. I'm about to say, where'd the text go? Anyways, oh Lord, let's see. My bad, guys. I'm trying to drink water, and I know it's a lot of cuts and skips, but not really skips, but you know what I mean. But by the time I put the brush to cloth, she's already started on a delicate pattern. Looks like my idea of taking her mind off everyone around her worked. With a dark blue stroke, the three of us silently get to work. Now before Kenji takes advantage of Hanako's working to lean toward me and whisper conspirationally through me. Yeah, conspiratorially. What the hell, thorough.
Okay, man, why are you here?
Hanako just wanted some help to find Lilly, that's all. He apparently disapproves of my motivations.
I get it. It looks like I misjudged you. You're infiltrating them, aren't you? Going deep undercover.
I should have guessed. Letting the truth slip by him would probably be better than outright lying or annoying him in any case. Is that why you're here?
Obviously, it sucks, but there's no better way to get intel than going in yourself. We gotta stick together, man. This is a harsh school, a harsh world.
Yes, very harsh. He misses my true meaning as he leans back satisfied. I'm sympathetic to his cause. I'd better get down to work. Oh boy.
Finished.
Looks like I am too. Good job. The two of us connect up the lines of our patterns, mine being as close as a copy as I could manage of hers. We get to see it? With a grunt, I lever myself up from the floor and look around. Aside from Hanako and myself, there's only Kenji left finishing off a sign, as well as Lilly and a couple students talking to themselves in the classroom. Looking at my watch, it's no surprise it's getting pretty late. Need a hand? I offer a hand to Hanako, which she uses to get herself up. As she does, I can't help but glance at her wrists. If her scars extend even to there, just how much of her body was burned? Okay, so it is burn marks. Okay.
I was like wondering, is it cuts, is it veins, or is it burns? But yes, it is burns, because burn. Okay. I feel a pang of guilt about it. However, she quickly covers her wrists with her other hand. Looks good, doesn't it? She looks up surprised for a moment before noticing that I mean the banner.
It does, I guess.
Her smile shows that she feels a slight sense of pride in the results, just as I do. With the floor significantly neater for the decorations being placed on the desk with shelves, it's much easier to get Lilly as we cross the room. We finished the banner. I guess that's all that needs to be done. Lilly gives an appreciative nod.
Thank you, Hisao. Hanako, if there's any way I can thank you.
Wait, did she say? Yeah, Hisao Hanako. Okay, about to say, wait a minute. That's fine. Beats sitting in my room studying at any rate.
I don't mind either.
She nods before suddenly remembering one last person.
Oh, is Kenji still here?
Just as I open my mouth, Kenji gives an answer from the other side of the room.
Yeah, I just finished.
He carefully slides his sign onto an empty section of the shelf to dry before quickly walking past us and out the door.
See ya, man.
Bye. The remaining two students say their goodbyes to Lilly before taking their cue to leave as well, leaving only the three of us. Well, I guess that's everyone.
I hope we don't have to do anything like that again.
Working past school time?
Indeed, the class plans this year were ambitious, maybe too ambitious. The stalls look nice, though.
She's right. It shows that a lot of work's gone into them.
My. I'm sure a lot of us would be glad to hear that. At least now there's not much work to do until the festival itself. It's getting pretty late. Should we go?
Oh my god, my light voice is really weirdly light.
That's probably a good idea. Are you going back to the dorms as well, Hisao?
Yeah, I guess I'll tag along. The nighttime lighting really makes the gardens look quite different compared to the usual look of lush greenery. Things are much more calm. Being that it's so late, the lack of students around probably helps. The odd one or two can be seen scurrying to and from the dorms, trying to eke the most out of their approaching curfews, but no more. All that can be heard is our footsteps, in addition to Lilly's cane regularly gently tapping the ground in front of her. It's nice to finally be able to relax a bit after a mad rush during school. Without even noticing it, I let out a small yawn.
Tired?
Yeah, still getting used to the flow of things, I guess. The, thing with Shizune took me off guard, though. I grit my teeth a little at the candid mention of their rather public spat. That said, I do want to sort out what in the world was behind it.
About that. I'm sorry about it being so public. Shizune and I go back some ways.
Now, when you say that, how far? Now, your disabilities didn't come on, or were you born with them? Because if so, you're not telling me one got the other deaf and one got the other blind, are you? Because, oh shit, if so, I don't know. But, wait, how far back are we talking? Because, like I said, I don't know how they communicate unless... I don't know. Her voice seems slightly irritated as she remembers Shizune, obviously unwilling to discuss it any further, but I want you to. I glanced to Hanako for her views on this, but her expression is unsurprisingly evasive and difficult to read. Either way, I guess her apologizing for it is something, even if my curiosity goes unanswered, and I want to know.
I'll be glad once the festival is over, in any case.
The change of topics welcome, clearing the thickening air quickly. I can imagine. My old school's festival were a lot more low-key than this.
Yamaku stresses the idea of school community, so the staff likes to make our festivals and such special occasions.
And yet the students are the ones who do the work. What an unfair world.
Hanako and Lilly both chuckle in agreement, savoring the fact that none of the staff are around to hear grumbling.
I suppose coming from a strict all-girls school helped me a bit with Yamaku compared to their Yamaku is much more relaxed.
So wait. She was in she could have been in an all-girls blind school, maybe, but I think the chances are it's a 50-50. I don't know, because if so, maybe her and Shizune came from the same school. I don't know. I'm trying to make guesses at this story, and I don't know shit. So, but I do want to know what the hell is going on between these two. If it's like just natural, or if it's like she says they go STEM. I don't know. Not as much for the lad. Yeah, that go away toward explaining her well-bred speech and behavior in English. As we come up to the dormitories, it eventually comes time to leave for our respective rooms. See you, Lilly, Hanako. The two both give polite nods before setting off to the women's dorms, just next to the guys. As to be expected of such an arrangement, there's a staff member casually patrolling around outside to prevent any nighttime shenanigans. Walking past him, I quickly stretch my arms and rub my neck, both quite sore after having worked on the floor for so long, before walking to my room. It feels good to actually have direction, though. After so long in the hospital, the everyday facts of studying, homework, and teachers seem almost a blessing. I guess if things continue like this, my time at Yamaku might turn out okay. I'm feeling tired, so I set my alarm to wake me up as late as I can afford, while still making it to the first class. The nurse's voice is almost nagging in the back of my head about morning jogs, and make a resolution to make up for it by going for a walk after school tomorrow. Emmy won't care either way, I bet. Maybe. Oh, Lord.
Katawa Shoujo.
Oh, Lord. I'm about to have like a heart attack because I'm not exercising like I should, and it's gonna be bad. I wake up and take a hot shower. Back in my room, the first thing I see is the familiar rows of medication bottles lined up on top of my dresser, and it makes me depressed as usual. It's annoying. I thought I was okay. I thought I had made my peace with this thing, gotten over it. But what I really did, I allowed myself to forget that I have a problem. Being here really reminds me of the reality, and trying to fight against it just hurts. Reflecting on it, it's only going to do so much. I've done this before, for months. It seems like it's time to get over it. If I allow myself to forget that my life is definitely not going to be as long as those of others, I won't get anywhere. My life may be different from others, but it is a life in progress. That is how I'll rationalize it. I downed the usual handful of pills, trying to push the sudden dreary feeling out of my head, then prepared to head out to class early as usual. Somebody message. Get the hell out of here. Who's messaging me? The hell? Okay, sorry about that. My bad, guys. As I step into the hallway, I notice Kenji coming around the hallway corner stealthily, making his way over to his own room with a large bag. As he sneaks past me soundlessly like a ninja hiding in plain sight, I call out to him. Hey. He jumps at the sound of my voice.
Yo! Hey, man. Didn't notice you there. I'm really tired.
I think it's more like he didn't see me, but that's not the issue. Where have you been this early? Shopping?
Nah, I wasn't shopping. Sometimes I have to visit the math teacher. Yeah, I figured it would be a good idea to find out when the next exam is, since he tells you in advance if you want.
So then, what's in the bag?
I thought I'd go shopping while I was outside. I need supplies to continue the fight against the vast feminist conspiracy.
Okay. I thought you didn't go outside.
I wear a hat now.
I decided not to point out that he is not wearing a hat. An awkward silence settles between us, and then Kenji breaks it by pushing his door open slowly, releasing a creaking sound into the air that only makes the moment seem more awkward. He sets the bag down inside his room and then closes the door. I'm surprised you went out of your way to find out a test date. Trying to take the advantage of an opportunity to study is pretty diligent.
I never study.
Oh,
I just want to know when the next test day was. I'm still going to take it, duh. I need to know so I know what day I can't afford to skip class. He usually sends out updates on that crap by phone, so I had to step out and check up on it.
And why do you have to go out when you can get it on your phone?
I don't carry a phone.
What do you mean you don't carry a phone? You mean you just leave it at home?
Nah, I don't use phones. I don't have a phone. I have no phone.
Why don't you have a phone? How can you not have a phone? No phone at all? Like, no phone?
I just don't like phones. Actually, I'm kind of scared of them. I don't know why. I think it's some kind of repressed trauma. But basically, when I hear a phone, I get nervous. It's my darkest secret. I have two theories on it. Either I have some fear of receiving some undefined, ominous, life-threatening doom call, or I was beaten with a phone in the past. Beaten so badly I can't remember it.
Beaten in the head.
Well, where else could I get beaten with a phone? That would make me unable to remember it. The ass?
Unexpectedly logical. I feel very depressed now. Sensing this conversation is more or less over, Kenji opens his door again and prepares to head inside.
Yeah, I'm going to sleep, dude. Have a good one.
Class is going to start in like 20 minutes.
I already did something today. Too tired to go to school. Hey, you need some lip balm? I accidentally bought two because I thought the store had started selling individual AA batteries.
Thanks, but no thanks.
Whatever, man.
He swiftly enters his lair, finally letting me go to the class. Oh, Kenji, I swear, every time I talk to him, I age like 30 years. For a change, I'm not among the first ones to come to morning class. Instead, almost everyone else seems to be here already. I recognize most of my class by their faces by now, though the names escape me still. The class goes on lazily. I think I'm starting to get into the rhythm of school. I have even stopped worrying about taking notes and being overly attentive. The first day, I was pretty high-strung in class. Mateo finishes his lecture about electricity early, but continues without a pause about the festival.
So, as you know, the festival is on the day after tomorrow. I hope everyone's projects are going to be successful this year. Have a good time, and also, come Sunday, please keep the meaning of this festival in your minds. Games and fried food!
Everyone burst out in laughter, and so do I.
Yes, thank you, Mikado.
But never mind! Okay, game, I won't read it. I mean, I can, technically. Yes, thank you, Mikado, but I meant was more the... Okay. But yeah, the remainder of his sentence is buried beneath the ring of the lunch bells, and everyone starts packing their things. Mateo deliberates for a moment, but since almost nobody seems to pay attention anymore, he gives up and sits down. Oh my god, the hallways. It's crowded in the hallway, or as crowded as hallways in this school probably get. Most of the students seem to be heading down to the cafeteria. Oh, hey, Emmy.
Oh god, I tried. Nothing came out when I went that high. Oh my god. I gotta get Aki voice. Well, I gotta get it.
Hisa! Oh my god! Hisa!
Oh no, she's gonna have to share a voice with Misha for now because my voice can't go that high right now.
I'm going to make you a one-time only super extra special lunch offer.
Really?
Emmy's homemade lunchbox and the privilege of enjoying them in private with the two bombshell beauties.
Her overly flirtatious sales pitch echoes in the hallway, a remarkable feat since it's full of people. Emmy strikes a very confident-looking pose, as an attempt to one-up her own ridiculousness, puffing her very modest chest, and making a V for victory sign with her hand. Sounds delicious. To what do I owe the honor of being invited?
You stood there looking really lost and sad, so I thought you could use some company.
This voice, I need to get it lighter gradually. This is probably the most depressing reasoning imaginable.
Yeah.
Sorry about that, guys. Let's try this again. Oh, Lord, my voice.
So, how about it? You're probably really lonely and would eat that awful cafeteria food all alone otherwise.
I guess that's the best we're gonna get. I drunk another bottle, but nah.
I'm kidding.
Sure, I'll have your lunch offer with pleasure.
Let's go to the roof.
Oh, the best place to eat. Yeah, I mean, we're in anime after all. We gotta eat on the roof. The roof? Why the roof?
Because that's where we eat lunch. And if I don't get up there, then she'll probably wander off, and then I just know she'll go hungry because she never packs lunch for herself. Come with me.
It's my girl. Anyways, it's my girl Rin. Without answering my question or waiting for a response, she grabs me by the arm and drags me through the hallways. Now, see, I gotta say, my favorite pair, even though I haven't spent much time with them, is already gonna be Emmy and Rim because I like their personalities the most so far. Because Emmy's just so cute and Rin, her bluntness is just amazing. Oh god, I didn't even read that. I attempt to make conversation on the way. Why do you have an extra lunch? Emmy smiles guiltily.
Actually, it's yesterday's lunch. I slipped and run at lunch and forgot to eat it.
Huh. The stairway to the roof is a little dilapidated, but it's clearly been used recently. At the top of the stairs, a door is complete with missing padlocks. I wonder who the interpret individual was that removed the lock. School roof! Emmy shoves the door open and steps beaming into the sunlight. Yeah? Suddenly, a tall, dark stranger appears out of nowhere, standing imposingly in front of us. Emmy flinches back, almost falling back down the stairs. Oh my god. Hello.
Yikes, you scared me, Rin.
Wait, isn't she? Yeah.
Hello.
Noticing Rin is speaking to me, Emmy looks curiously at me.
You two know each other?
I look confusedly at it. It's getting better, as you can hear. She's that friend of yours? Rin has turned her gaze toward the clouds drifting above the school.
I didn't know you knew this person, Emmy.
The awkward silence lasts only for a few seconds until Emmy lets out a tiny giggle, shrugging the coincidence off.
I invited Hisao for lunch. If you know him, that's just better. Oh? Does this mean I don't get food, or did you invite him for lunch without the lunch? Neither. I have food for 3. Nice thinking.
They walk to the other end of the roof while I stay at the clock tower for a while, taking in the atmosphere. There is nobody else but us here. I guess the roof is not as popular as in other schools. A few rundown benches and tables are scattered around the edges, perhaps in an attempt to make the rooftop look less desolate. The small pebbles covering the roof rattle beneath our feet. I peek through the chain-link fence to take a look at the school grounds and beyond. Students are strolling in pairs and groups around the quadrangle and the cafeteria. A few delivery trucks are driving past the school toward the convenience store nearby. Somewhere, watchdog barks at a passerby. Somehow, when I look toward the town center, the small town strikes me very strongly, almost palpably. The hectic lifestyle of big metropolises seems so far away and foreign here. Nobody has to run to catch a bus like their life depends on it, or get their senses overloaded by the neon lights and traffic jams. I feel surprisingly optimistic about this new life of mine, looking at the new hometown, even if it's going to be mine for only a short year. Finding out about my illness and having to move away from home all came so suddenly. I haven't had time to think how I feel about it. When I step out of the shadow of the clock tower to the open, I feel warm touching my back. The sun shines from a perfectly clear, cerulean sky. A cool breeze sweeping over the roof makes me shiver, but only briefly. The wind carries the scent of the trees and flowers, not smog and car exhaust like it used to, just a few weeks ago. Emmy settles on a bench with Rin in tow and produces one big and two small lunchboxes from her bag.
Come on, Isao, what are you waiting for?
She's beckoning me to join them, making room on the already small bench. I seat myself on the corner of the bench to take as little space as possible. It's pretty cramped, but somehow all three of us fit on it. Impressive view. Emmy suppresses a giggle and places the lunchbox in front of Rin and hands another lunchbox to me.
Here you go, lunch as promised.
Homemade no less. I'm impressed. Wow, this looks really good.
Thanks, I make them myself when I can.
Conversation dies off as I set about the business of feeding myself. Taking a few bites, I glance up and notice Rin deftly opening the lunchbox and popping a fork of food into her mouth using only her feet. Even though I've seen it before, I can't help but be impressed at her dexterity. It's also a reminder of the sort of place I am in right now. Will I ever get used to the sights such as this? I can't decide if I'm getting used to such a thing would be a good idea or a bad thing either. Does getting used to this place mean that I'm giving up on being a normal person? Or does it just mean that I'm becoming more understanding about those around me? I'm pretty sure it means this. Less of a normal person. What do you mean? Everyone here is normal. Disability does not make you not normal. Like, what? I'm distracted from my thoughts by the sight of Emmy tearing into her lunch as if it had insulted her ancestors. Oh, you seem pretty hungry. Emmy looks up, mouth half full, and swallows before nodding.
My morning run always works up an appetite. Which is great, because then I burn through it lunch pretty quickly. Helps me keep my girlish figure.
What would happen if you lose it? Would you become a man?
God damn it! I very nearly choked my lunch trying not to laugh. God damn it. Oh my god.
It's a figure of speech.
Does your figure have to run in the morning too?
Do you always talk like this? Yeah, pretty much.
Talk like what?
I'm gonna overlay it so it's perfect. I think that answers my question. Never mind. So, I struggle to think of small talk and settle on the obvious question. How'd you two meet? Rin seems content to let Emmy answer this question.
Someone in the housing department thought that we'd complement each other well, so we were assigned rooms next to one another.
Yeah. Compliment each other.
Like shoes in the suit.
Huh? Emmy giggles at my confusion.
Put us together and we got our limbs, get it?
Yeah. You couldn't see that? I made that comparison from the beginning when I first met them.
So I started helping Rin get ready in the morning, and that was that. I mean, you can't help someone get dressed every morning and not get along.
I see. Rin chooses this moment to interject.
I have trouble with shirts.
Right. That seems fairly obvious.
Really?
Kind of? This isn't helping, but at least Emmy seems to find the whole thing funny. That combined with the fact that Rin it's button up too from the looks of it, so yeah. That combined with the fact that Rin is genuinely curious makes me feel slightly better and yet confused. I mean, you've got no arms. So, putting on a shirt seems like one of those things that would be difficult. You know what? I'm going to just stop talking. Oh god, it'll save me a lot of trouble in the long run. Rin nods in what I suspect is meant to be a sage manner.
I see.
The conversation dies as I turn my attention back to my lunch. It's really quite good. Emmy finishes her lunch first and makes a contented noise.
Ah, that was good.
As she busies herself with cleaning up her lunch, Rin speaks up.
I'm thirsty.
Oh, I almost forgot about that. Sorry.
With a flourish, she reaches into her bag and removes a trio of juice boxes. She tosses me one that appears to be cranberry juice.
Hey, bro. Yo, I might be having to chill with these two. My girl tossed me my favorite kind of drink. I love cranberry juice. How did you know? How did you know?
One to Rin that appears to... I'm not even lying. I'm dead ass. I love cranberry juice. How did you know? One to Rin that appears to be some kind of strawberry milk, complete with pink color scheme, and keeps an equally pink box of some kind of fruit punch for herself. Rin dexterously stabs a straw into the top of her box and begins to drink. I'm once again impressed at how flexible she is, but this time I keep my comment to myself. Somehow, I don't think either Emmy or Rin are the sort of people to think twice about the way they work around their particular disabilities. Rin especially so. Indeed, she gives off an impression of being entirely unaware that she's missing any limbs at all. Whether or not that's a conscious decision is another matter. I'm honestly not sure.
So, how do you like it up here?
It's quite nice, actually. I like high places for the view. Thanks for inviting me up here. And for the lunch, too. Emmy grins a 1,000-watt grin, pleased by my response, I suppose.
No problem. Feel free to eat with us next time, too, okay?
Oh, I definitely would love to, because I like you guys.
I won't make you a lunch.
Oh, fuck.
I won't make you a lunch, but you can bring your own up here.
No lunch service? I don't know. Emmy looks mock offended.
Trying to take advantage of my good nature? The nerve!
She giggles.
Well, if that's your answer, I guess Ren and I will just keep eating lunches all alone.
I'm suddenly assaulted by the most heart-rending puppy dog eyes I've ever seen as Emmy pouts. Kidding! I was kidding! I'd love to eat lunch up here again. Good location, company's okay too. Emmy frowns a bit at my declaration of okay, but seems happy enough that I've accepted her invitation. I guess this makes us friends now. Or at least acquaintances. The lunch bell rings, signaling the return downstairs.
Ren, you didn't finish your lunch again.
I wasn't that hungry.
If you don't eat more, you're going to fade away.
Rin shrugs as if this is an acceptable risk. Come on, we better get going. The three of us head down the stairs together. The afternoon class passes. Once again, I find myself without a plan for something to do after school, so I head to the library to return a couple of books I finished reading. Walking inside, I see that there are about as many students here as there were on Tuesday, all the more evident from the almost total silence enveloping the room. Fucking, okay. As I drop the books I borrowed onto the return slot in the counter, Yuko suddenly pops up from behind it, quite startled from the bang they'd made as they hit the trolley next to her. Sorry, Yuko, I didn't mean to startle you. I quite honestly don't remember the voice I gave her.
No, that's fine. It happens a lot. I'm used to it by now.
I think that was actually it.
Can I help you?
It's okay. I think I know where everything is. Thanks. I suppose I'll grab another book or two while I'm here. There's not much else to do after reading so much during my stay at the hospital. It's become a hard habit to break. I wander down to the fiction section toward the back of the library, scanning the bookshelves for anything that catches my eye. As I do, I look over to the corner where Hanako had been last time I was here, not really expecting anything to come of it, but she's there. Yeah. Surprisingly, though, she's there, absorbed completely in a fairly thick book. I decided against intruding on her like last time and get back to finding reading material. After indiscernible amount of time spent pursuing the aisles, I finally decided on a couple of books to get and slide them off the shelf. With a minimum of fuss, I quickly walk over to the counter and check out my books and pop them into my bag as I walk out. By the time I leave the main building, sunset isn't too far away. A small trickle of students remain, but the majority have left, presumably to their homes and dorms. I guess I need to buy some supplies. I can't live off the cafeteria food and eating out my entire stay here. As I leave for the gate, I make a few loud stretches to try and stave off the tiredness that accumulated over the week. Oh, hey Lily. After passing through and rounding the corner, though, I see a solitary figure walking down toward the small town below. The color of her hair, tapping of her cane are unmistakable. I quickly walk up to her, which seems to catch her attention without a word needing to be said. Hi, Lily. She takes a moment to place the voice, slightly adjusting her head to her face a bit more toward the source of my voice as she does.
Hisao?
Yep, that's me. She seems to have a good memory of her voices. The fact that she actually remembered is a pleasant surprise.
Good evening. What brings you here?
Once again, she gives a small polite bow, and once again, I reply in kind before realizing that I needn't to do so. God damn it. Just going into town, you?
My, what a coincidence.
Doing the same thing, huh?
I usually go shopping on Fridays.
She pauses for a moment, suddenly looking a little lost.
That said, Hanako usually comes into town with me.
Not lost, but worried. The two do seem pretty close. To keep pretty close tabs on one another. It's kind of surprising that Hanako would just forget Lily like that. I noticed her reading in the library. She probably just got caught up in a book. She lets out a small sigh of relief.
Thank you. She has a habit of doing that.
Avid reader?
Right. She doesn't like being around crowds of people, so reading away from everyone lets her relax a bit.
Although she probably didn't intend it, I can't help but grimace as I recall my first meeting with her. Hardly wanting to bring it up, I remain silent as we continue to walk down the quiet road. Tack, 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 tack. With the road bereft of cars, and the students of Yamaku increasingly far behind us, the quiet rustling leaves and the measured tapping of Lily's cane against the sidewalk are all that can be heard. It's kind of nice, especially compared to the hustle and bustle of where I used to live. Before I know it, I've relaxed so much that a loud yawn escapes before I can control it.
Tired?
Yeah, I've been running ragged these past few days. That's an understatement to be sure. Transferring into a different school would be bad enough, but nothing like this. We going into town, but I think we'll call it here, because it's been an hour. So let's save. But this episode was really interesting. I'm glad I helped out Lily in that situation, but at the same time, it's not like I want Shizune to hate us, but it's like Shizune needs to calm down a little bit. I don't know why she's so mad. I do want to know what's going on between these two, and hopefully, like Lily said after the festival, she'll talk about it, but I don't know. I do want to know. It's because, like, I don't know if their disabilities came on later in life or they were born with them, but I do want to see how these two mix. And like I said, I do really like Emmy and Rin. So far, they're kind of my favorites just because of their personalities. I like them a lot. I can't really start the ranking system yet until I start like knowing the girls, but I do really like those two because they're just fun to be around. But anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Katawa Shoujo. If you like this, hit the thumbs up button and share it with your friends. If you want, you can follow me on Twitter. The link is in the description below. Thank you all for watching. I love you all and I'll see you all in the next one. Goodbye, everyone.